Actually, sometimes you really ask yourself a question of what happens when people who are not okay in the head, I mean mentally, but can speak reasonably elegantly. What happens? What actually happens when someone who's, and we need to understand one thing: someone not being right and wrong is always a relative. It's always a relative to this. So if majority of people see one thing to be the right thing, and one person or very small minority sees that to be the opposite, well, of course, those are the wrong ones. But the situation becomes very dire and unnatural when that one individual or the minority cannot actually see or even imagine what the majority of people are seeing and imagining and comprehending. So let's just look this lady. Let's just look this lady now.
I want all the land from the Euphrates to the Nile. What do you mean? Why hide the
I'm just curious what
the
you
history?
I'm curious what you intend to do with all the Palestinians who currently live there.
Those, you see, I trust in God. I trust, and I live by faith, by Emunah, and by the Bible.
Yeah, but
And
what are you going to do with all the millions of Palestinians? What happens?
I'm telling you, Joshua, the first settlers, he gave me
I don't need a history lesson. I'm just asking you, what do you intend to do with the millions of Palestinians who currently live in Gaza and the West Bank?
Exactly what Joshua did. To the Nile, what do you mean? Why hide?
So this woman, first of all, who do we actually blame? The man who's interviewing her and talking to her and asking her question as if she is normal, some sort of even close to normality? Or do we blame her? Or do we blame maybe a system or a community, however small they are, she is representing? Or do we blame the world who may be aware of a view, a behavior, a way of seeing things as normal by people that this woman, this person represents, and they exist somewhere in the world, and they are able to express these views very clearly, and the whole world, especially where the world comes together, like the UN, where they supposed to be taking responsibility, expressing and taking action about what happens in the world. First rejecting it, putting it out there, to the saying what it is. What do you think? What are you saying? How you are thinking? And then saying, well, that's not acceptable. And then second thing to tell them is don't do it. Don't do anything of what you're thinking is wrong, it's unacceptable. The vast majority of the world is not acceptable, especially those who are, we can call neutral. Neutral means they are not you, they are not part of you who have a particular interest, and they are not also your victims. They are not from your victim's side. So they just bystanders. So those people, the vast majority of them are saying it, what are you doing is wrong, and therefore don't do it. And if you don't do it, we're going to take action against you, and we're going to stop you. So what I'm trying to say, who we blame? Do we blame the person who's saying this? Do we blame Mr. Morgan who's interviewing her as like a normal person? Or do we blame the community, the people? And when I say community, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about her religion. I 100% believe that the vast majority of the people who believe the religion she's claiming, I'm assuming she's claiming to be Jewish, are not supporting of this. No, absolutely no. I don't believe that to be the case. There's people who expressed it time and again that they are absolutely not supporting it, and they do not believe it, and they don't see it as a right thing, and they don't want to have nothing to do with it. So when I say therefore her community, it is the people who have the same views she has, who are advocating and doing it and perpetrating and supporting it. Those people. So do we blame those people, or do we blame the world, like the UN, or we blame any people who are supporting it? I don't know. It is eye-opening. It's really eye-opening. I would have never thought that I will see some people talking like this at this conference, at this level. What do I mean? If someone, people can think certain ways, and they have a very weird views and have very weird wishes, very greedy, all sorts of ways, and therefore when they are in their own private situation with their own private group or their own supporters or whatever, they can say all sorts of things. They can wish all sorts of things. That is a fact. It's undeniable. But that to take that and bring it up to the world stage and express it so openly that I want someone else's things because I like it, or I believe it's mine, or I being given to, who give it to you, someone I believe, whether it's a God or someone, or I don't know, my boss give it to me, my friend give it to me, my parents give it to me, or problems to me, or my king or queen or religious leader. What doesn't matter? Someone give it to me, someone promised to me, someone told me I can have it, and therefore I'm having it, and come that into the world stage. It's mind-boggling. It is so. I'm not saying I am surprised people are violating other people's rights. No way. Human beings always did that, and are doing it right now. Other places we are not noticing. We're not being brought to our attention, and will be happening as long as the world exists, without a doubt. But what is so different from this one is that people who are violating other people's rights are coming to the world stage, and so brazenly, so pretending to be so confronting. And that's why I'm saying it what they are saying and claiming. That's why I said this woman, I think, is not normal on her head. She's not normal. She's absolutely so liar and thinks she can get away by lying deliberately into our face and saying something she has nothing to do with it. It's mine. And she's convinced that she can get away with it, which is, I give her credit for that, for attempting and thinking that way. Or she actually, genuinely, personally believes what she's saying, and therefore she is sick. She's not normal. The whole point of, as I said from the beginning of my talk, everything, right or wrong, is relative. Is wrong. A lot of people, majority of people, or these people who are more logical and more see this to be wrong or see this to be right. It's just relative. So her to be standing here and saying such things and see it and convinced to be normal, and the rest of the humanity can listen what she's saying, and actually some people will agree with her and say, oh, yeah, you are making sense. you being given this thing by your whoever, your religion, your God, or your leader, or your ancestry, or whatever. Someone give it to you. Okay, we get it. Oh yeah, we tell the people, your victims, hey, give it to her. She's been given what belongs to you by her father. Is that what she really believes?